Hey friends, Katrina here again. This time I'm going to show you some things that I use repurposing my Happy Mail. This one is in my travel journal that I started back at the beginning of the pandemic. I received some cards that I thought were too pretty just to put in the box where I keep all of my mail from my pen pals, and some of it was items that I received in the Happy Mail. Remember, we call those goodies. And the goodies I got in this particular one was from Melanie from the UK that I told you about in the last video. So one example is I got this card. So I just made it in as a tip-in, and then I just used the back of it to journal on. And then here's another card I received in the mail, just too pretty. So I glued it together and put lines on the back and then just used it as journaling. This particular one was given to me as a back of an envelope, and I just thought it was just too pretty to put away. So I cut the envelope down and then I just put it in as a tip-in. And then with Melanie, here are some of the items that she would send me. As I told you, she just sent me things with the same colors, and I just went for it. Oops, our scroll came off there. I try not to over Google or over watch videos on YouTube about junk journaling things, and I just thought whatever would work for me. So for example, in this one, I really like the color combo of these particular stamps she sent me, so I just used that as a border. And then I just used some as like a handle for other little journaling places. And then she's even sent me like old newspapers. This one happens to be about Prince Charles and Prince Anne when they were younger, and a row of stamps that she no longer needed. And then she even sent me this little cute stamp of a fox, so I thought that was perfect for that. And around Valentine's Day, she sent me a lot more things that had to do with Valentine's Day and in the color red. So once again, I just made them as tip-ins. And then I really enjoy using the stamps I get as like little holders, so when you lift up the page. So that is what I do when I put them in my traveler's notebook. All right, this one I just want to show you quickly if you're not sure what you want to do, but you see all that washi tape on the envelopes or the stamps from other countries, and you just have to keep them, but you don't want to hoard them. Well, I started this particular binder or journal when I was first doing snail mail, Happy Mail, pen pals in 2019. So these are washi tapes and stamps and stickers from my pen pals. Except for these two, I created this one and this one to put on the back of the envelopes when I would send something out to someone. But a lot of times this was washi tape that I just loved. I couldn't throw it away in the garbage, and so I would carefully peel it off and then put it on this. So this is maybe one idea to do with things that you get in the Happy Mail and you just can't part with it. So unlike my travel journal that I showed you, I would start sticking the cards in here. I thought this was funny because of the Oregon Trail, because I just moved to Oregon when I received that card. And so there was a lot of cards that I just wanted to maybe reread the note or just look at, and so I would just keep them in here. I also kept track of when I would write someone a letter and when someone would send me one back. And so there's another card. This one I wanted to show you real quick. This was from my creative friend Meg, who thought it would be fun to do a bingo card that she sent out to all of us. And so that, just, you didn't have to send it back to her, but it was just something to kind of pass the time. I thought that was very clever of her. So here's a couple more cards. Couple more cards. This one is from a lady who actually sent it when she went to the Netherlands, and it was a big surprise because I was not expecting that at all. And let's see, here's some more cards that I got in the mail, And here's another one. And then I kind of slowed down. Here's one that never made it in there, but I couldn't put it in the box. Man, how gorgeous is that? So I'll probably end up putting this in my mixed media box and then reusing it in my art that way. So this is another idea if you want to just keep little things from your Happy Mail to remember who sent it to you. Okay, I wanted to show you this one for, I joined a group for some fun in a summer camp setting online. And there was some ladies that were in this group, but also in other groups. And they would message me saying, hey, can I send you something from my camp? And I said, absolutely. So when I received their wonderful Happy Mail, I just could not put it in my camp book. So for example, this particular one is from my friend Barbara. And so I love it. And I wanted to be able to see it all the time, so I printed one out and put it in my book. And then my friend Bianca sent me a note and some goodies. And so this was just too gorgeous just to slip into the box where I keep all of my pen pal notes. So I put it in there. This was a little note from LaQuisha. And I just used it as a tip-in. And if you're not sure about tip-ins, all you do is put a piece of washi tape or some type of adhesive on this side, flip it over, put the same adhesive on this side, and it works like a hinge. So this one I have closer inside the page instead of outside of the page. So this was a postcard. I used a tip-in so I could read the back of it. Here's another postcard. This one I didn't make as a tip-in because it was just a note. But I wanted to remember who sent me my friendship bracelet, so I put it in there. This one is from Victoria, who I met last year in Fearless Summer Camp. And this is a patch. I don't know what I'm going to do with the patch yet, so to keep it safe, I put it in my keeper here so I would remember. And she wrote a little nice note on the back of it with a poem. And then this one, I didn't make a tip-in either because this was a one-sided postcard that I got from Paula. And last but not least, another Fearless Camp friend that I met last year, Landy, she sent me something too. So she wrote a little note on the back of this. So I made a tip-in so I could read it again. And then this came with it too. So that's another idea that you can use with the stuff that you get in Happy Mail. Okay. When you receive some Happy Mail and you get a really cool stamp, and if you're like me, you're like, ooh, I can do something with it, this is what happens. You end up with a very large box of a lot of canceled stamps. And then you start going to junk shops and finding things with canceled stamps. And you keep collecting and collecting it. And then you end up overwhelmed. So I'm here to tell you, don't be overwhelmed. Start using it in your art. Start using it to just put on a piece of paper, like a side of a paper, and write your little note to your pen pal. Or just send them loosely. Someone sent me these, and I'm going to forward it to someone else that I know will enjoy them. Also, these are really cool, and so I'm going to find something to do with those. So it's okay to have a collection where we don't have any issues. We're just collecting them. And right now I'm trying to sort through my stamps. I'm starting to do the same color stamps because I have a couple projects coming up where I will just use those colors, or I'm just going to use the ones that have the Queen's head on it. So when you see a really cool stamp on your envelope, hey, it's okay to rip off that little corner and stick it into a box for future use for your artwork. Okay friends, for this last segment I'm going to show you one more thing that I do, repurposing my Happy Mail. I put it in my Happy Planner, and to do that I have a special hole puncher that is just created for this particular system of disc. For those who know about this, I know this is review, but for our friends that are not familiar with it, when you use a particular punch like this one, instead of circle holes, it'll give you these, I think they look like little mushrooms. So then when you put it into your disc system, you just have to push it down, each disc, and voila. And what a lot of us like about the disc system is, like, if you don't like it, you can rip it out, you can add it very easily, very quickly, instead of unsnapping a binder rings. Okay, that being said, here are two examples. So I would like to put these in my happy planner as a reminder. So this one is today's prayer, and then it gives you a verse from the book of Esther. So it depends on if I want to just slip it into my book, I might punch the holes this way. But if I turn it, if I turn it this way and punch the holes, I can make it into more of a, like a reminder or like a bookmark. So, you know, it'd go above it. So this way, if I just want to stick it in there, and then this way, if I want to, like, maybe have it to stick out a little, or just to read it going that way. So what I'm going to do is I want to use it as a bookmarker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with these holes, see how many I'm going to need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But remember, I said I want it to stick above just a little. So I'm just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes when I punch this. So everyone has their own way of doing this, but I like counting twice before I punch holes. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the fifth hole is the middle one. So that will work out for me perfectly. So I line it up. Oh, and before I punch it, just to look how clever they are, they give you the top, middle, and bottom, so you can line it up so you know that it's going to be punched correctly. Okay, now if I really wanted in my binder with all 6 holes, that's all I would do, and then that would be great. But since I want it not to have the 6 holes, I'm going to move it up, so then it's going to stick out a little here. So once again, I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's space right there. I'm going to move it down just a little so it's not right on the edge, because I have punched things right on the edge and then it gets all wonky on you. Then all you have to do is go like this, push down, and then release. And there we go. We have the holes punched. I bring my thing back. And there, I have it above the page line. So then when I see that and I know I'm using that for a particular bookmarker, I'll be able just to grab it. And here, this is just too pretty to put away. I love all the colors. So this one, I'm just going to make it so I can just stick it in my planner or my journal or whatever this system I have. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to even it out in the center. See how many holes? Okay, kind of looks like it's going to be right on the edge. So if it is, that's okay. So see how I have it even? Don't have it off-centered. Put full weight on. That's always a satisfying sound. And then gently wiggle it out. And there you go. I'll be able to put it in the planner. So this one, I could probably use it up here too, or go above it, but then I don't like seeing that. So this particular one, I'm just going to put down here. There. Now I can just see the pretty colors whenever I want to. And if I want to really repurpose it, I can glue this together and then put a little piece of paper on the back to cover up the note and re-journal it. Okay, that's how you use the disc system for your repurposing Happy Mail.